Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. I am glad that you're here today because we are talking about my very favorite indie brand, Phytosurgence. They just did another reformulation that they don't make a big deal about because the changes that they make don't change the actual product and take it to a different place. It just creates more ease of use. So today was a beautiful sunny day in Chicago and it was so nice out. And I took all of my shadows and blushes and the highlighters that I used from them, which are actually called Spectral Shines. We'll talk about that. And also the bronzers. So they make skincare as well. And I want to tell you that today for my skin prep, I did my Sunday self-care actually last night because I took a few pictures and I'm putting together some skincare video things. But so I swatched all the blushes. Those did not go through any changes, by the way. The eyeshadows were what they have created to be a little bit more ease of use. So when you open one of these up, your finger is never going to really warm up this product. You really need to kind of like make your own kind of friction happen. And you'll get color on your finger like this. And then when you go to swatch it, you're going to get this very diffused, very beautiful color. The most beautiful thing that happens with this formula is the way that it blends. And when you start to blend it, you start to see these beautiful nuances in the colors. This one is called Pewtered Pine. It's part of the Weathered Woods collection that they have. And what I like about that collection is that these are pearly but not sparkly. So I started with the shadows. I did the blushes, and then I did the highlighter, Spectral Shines, as well as the bronzers. I'm not going to be able to try on everything for you guys today, but I do have some amazing, just gorgeous swatches. I made gorgeous swatches. I couldn't believe it. I guess I just needed some sunlight and a good motivator. But we're going to walk through these products. I'm going to apply some of them to my face. Right now, I have on my very favorite Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint. And I actually, right now, I went to a T3 from a T1. It's a very neutral color, so it does work for my skin, even though I'm cool toned. So much of my own skin shows through. I did go and use a little bit of concealer. It's the Tom Ford Soft Matte that I was using today. And I put a little color corrector under my eyes from Cali Ray. It's the pink one. I do want to start, though, with my under eyes because I just, like I said, put some product on here to make my eyes look less tired, which they always do. Today, I am going to be using Fresh Fog. Now, Fresh Fog is one of the Spectral Shines. These are not like any highlighter that you've ever seen. There's zero sparkle. There is only a pearlized kind of luminescence that comes off of these. I have a couple other colors that I'm just going to swatch for you. This one is called Divine Daylight, and I find that this one can be used by all skin tones. It was kind of like an add-on special one that they did, and people fell so in love with it that they made it part of the permanent range. And you can see there's much more of a champagne to that color. And then the other one that I have to keep looking on the bottom. Sorry, guys. The other one is called Mirrored Moonlight. And at first sight, because this one kind of looks like it's like kind of golden, I was like, oh no. But these three colors, depending on the makeup that I'm using that day, the most inclusive brands that I have found. They don't put products out for one group of skin tones. And I know that's a huge complaint that people have, particularly when it's a smaller company, smaller business. And a lot of times what happens with the smaller businesses is that they make more limited shades that tend to skew very, very light. Well, not so with Phytosurgence. They have everybody in mind. The colors that they choose don't have a lot of a white base on them so that they don't turn out to be really ashy skin tones that are deeper. And at the other end of the spectrum, they make things that have such a blendability that the way that they may show up on the skin may be a little bit different, but everybody gets something great from the products that they're making. So I'm going to show you their spectral shines, and I'm going to swatch these for you, just finger swatching, because I have some outdoor swatches all ready for you. This is probably my most used and favorite one. It is called Fresh Fog. And as you can see, there is zero sparkle going on, just lots of luminescence and kind of a pearly effect. And I like this one, particularly in the winter time when my skin is quite pale. The next one is called Divine Daylight. Divine Daylight was, I believe, not part of the initial collection, and I remember it kind of being separate because people, it's on that middle finger, it's because people really loved this Divine Daylight, and it really worked on a lot of skin tones. They brought it back and made it permanent, so they do listen. The other color that I use a lot, particularly in the summertime, if I have like a fake tan on or something like that, it's this last one here. This one is called Mirrored Moonlight. And these are the three that I've kind of fallen into. I ordered all of them at the beginning when I was doing this, and I have since replenished everything in the collection that I have of all of their products. We'll talk about their skincare in a little bit. Right now, we're going to focus on these spectral shines. They can be used several ways. The way that I like to really use them, first of all, I like to set my under eye with them, which sounds crazy. Who in their right mind would want to set, would want to, you know, put highlighter under their eyes? Well, it's not highlighter. So these have a very interesting mattifying effect. I buy these like cheap little powder puff things from Amazon that are just kind of like a velvet, and they're a little triangle, and you fit your fingers in the back. I think these are like $2.99 for 6 of them or something crazy. I'll put it in the description bar. I'm going to go into, sorry about the mirror. I am going to get enough shine with this. I'm going to go into this with my powder puff, and I'm just kind of rubbing in circles. And you're not going to see a whole lot of it come off onto your puff, but you'll see a little bit. What I'm going to do is press this underneath my eye and use it to really set that makeup. And you'll see there's this very slight luminescence, but also a mattifying effect. This is doing this without powder. I'm going to go on to the other side now, and I'm going to do the same thing. You can just press. Make sure that you go over your concealer if it's been sitting for a few minutes so that you don't get weird creasing. But you'll see now they're not shiny. In fact, they're quite mattified. And I can do this in a lot of places on my face. I can put some up here where I could like highlight usually. I can place some on my cheek so that I get a luminescence there. I can go right here on the apples of my cheeks. Another place I like to go is right here, like where the bronzer or contour would, sort of end, like that. And, any place that you want some mattification, you can put down the Spectral Shine. And what it does is it creates this beautiful filtered effect on the skin. And it is a really pretty non-highlightery highlighter. Now, you can use these in many different ways. I like to put them on my collarbones. It just gives the skin a really nice glow without using powders to do that with. So you don't get that dry look and you just get sort of a blurred effect, which I love. So these are amazing. You can experiment with different colors. You can do this where you set your makeup before, your complexion makeup, I should say, before you move on to the bronzers and the blush and then also the eyeshadows. Okay, so we're going to move on next to bronzers. You guys, let's really talk about this for a minute. There are about 17 different bronzers that have come out in liquid form this year. Last year, it was the cream bronzers that were all the rage. And this bronzer is quite different from anything else that you will find anywhere. These formulas are one of a kind. Let me grab one of their brushes for this. There we go. This is called the Sky Fluff. And they also have this one, which is called the Soft Quill. Another Sky Fluff. Here's another one, the Sky Buff, much smaller size. So this brush, the Soft Quill, they created for their bronzers. I'm going to put a picture up here. That's why I'm scooting over. Here are all 12 bronzers that they have made. 6 that are gold leaning and 6 that are rosy leaning. And they did them at different intensities. So the fairest of fair, whether you have a gold undertone or a rosy undertone, there is a blush for you. And that goes all the way through to very deep, dark skin and rosy. And I think it's more of a rosy on one side and a golden on the other. I always think of myself as such a cool tone person, and these rosy ones do the trick for me. I'm going to show you that I have 3 shades that I use, depending on what I'm doing, what time of year. So I'm going to start with the lightest one. You're not going to notice that these look much different from each other in the pan. But you can see that they all have that rosy undertone. These are what I reach for the most in my whole collection for bronzers. I'm going to start with the number 2, and I'm going to take their brush and I'm going to really get into there to get some product into my brush. And you'll see when you pick some up. Now this one is number 2, so this is the lightest color on the rosy. And I am very fair, and this does definitely start to warm up my face. I'm going to do some on the other side. Now I kind of play with all 3 of these because I just enjoy it. I like to kind of put down a little bit of a bronze at the beginning with the first one. Go across my nose. I'm really thinking about where sunshine actually does hit a person when they're outside. So number 2 is just a very soft, like you're not looking to look, at least in my skin tone, I'm not looking to be like ultra, ultra tan. I just want a little bit of color so that I don't look super pale. That is number 2, Rosy Daybreak. Then I have number 4. Number 4 is called Rosy Warmth. I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm still doing my swirling. And when you see you've picked up some product, you can start to get that onto your skin. These bristles at the tip kind of hold the product, and then you get to blend. And you'll see this side has a little bit more color now than this side. And so I've been in the sun maybe a little bit longer. Maybe it's, not the beginning of summer. And I just put this again where I think the sun would shine down on me. You can also kind of use it as a bronzer if you want. The next one is my favorite because, of course, I still love looking tan, even though I won't lay in the sun anymore. But I used to a lot. And I love it. So this one I like to kind of keep far back and sort of use it as a sculpting product. It's not cool tone, so it's not a contour. It's more like a bronzer. It's like a sculpting product when I use it like this. And I can really go in and kind of like add some extra depth to my tan. Just like that. They're just so pretty, so natural. I would 100%, I'm going to go as close as this thing will get you. I would wear this on a beach. That is how sure I am that you cannot detect that this is bronzer when you are up close to somebody. And I'm one of those people that doesn't get any sun anymore. I put a hat on. I wear very, very, very intense SPF. I make sure that I'm reapplying often. So to get a tan for me is like, it's the best. I don't do well with self-tanners because it brings my hyperpigmentation out that I am always fighting against. And I'm kind of thinking about doing laser in the fall, but it's just not the time of the year right now. I do want to get rid of some of these sunspots that I have, but in the meantime, I don't mind that you can see them. I mean, I'm in my 50s and I am a Gen Xer who went in the sun a lot, and I think that's a pretty common theme. We just didn't have the same kind of overall knowledge that is out there now. I've shown you the bronzing, and I've shown you just a little bit of the spectral shine. Now, a lot of times after I go in with my bronzer, I will go back into the spectral shine, and I like to do this underneath where my blush is going to wind up so that the glow really does look like it's coming from within. It's a very natural glow. Like, I am not a highlightery person. I use such a small amount to just what I call give me like a little youth do. All I want to do is create pretty hydrated skin that people notice. I would rather have people say your skin looks great than your makeup looks great. Okay, I'm going to set this stuff aside and we're going to make room right now for some blush. I'm going to put a little bit of lip sculpt on right now. These are the Lisa Eldridge Cool pencils that she did for contouring and sculpting your lips. I'm going to use the deepest shade to just kind of go around. I'm not really overlining. Move this forward so that you guys can see me. So I'm just sort of grazing just that outside of my lip. And these are supposed to make your lips look very natural, like they would sort of be an enhanced version. This number is 2C, I believe. That was 3C. I'm going to kind of fill in here with this color. And I really want to create a stain so it will last. These pencils are they have a really nice ability of being able to last. I'm just kind of going around here. Making sure I'm all filled in. And it's just a very natural look. They feel hydrated. I don't feel like I need to add anything to this right now. But I just wanted to put something on them just to like kind of keep things together. I did do my eyebrows pretty much. I'm going to put a little bit of pomade from Tom Ford. I am really hoping that this is not really gone. I hope that they are just reformulating because this is such a great product with the little fibers in here. And they just really nicely fill the brows in. Take a clean spoolie and just run it through. Just looking for natural and groomed. When you're a Gen Xer, you have to really fake the whole eyebrow situation, at least most of us. Some people grew back. I was one that did not. We all went a little crazy in the 90s. I hope these kids don't do the same thing that we did. Okay, we're going to talk about their eyeshadows, right? Okay, so this Weathered Woods collection is a set of luminous and lustrous pearl finish eyeshadows with varying levels of silvers and grays to create different taupey and beautiful grungy tones. That's where they got my heart. A firm, stiff cream that picks up easily and thin. I will agree with that. You don't get too much product. You're not going to dunk your finger in and wind up with a bunch of extra shadow. They give you enough playtime on the skin before they dry to a budge-proof finish. So this one is called Oxidative Olive. Olive leaning, though not green at all, grayish brown. And you can see that this is not sparkly, but it does have quite a luminescence to it. There are 4 shades in this set. The next one is called Pewtered Pine, cool violet leaning taupe with silvery tones. The next one is called Magnetic Maple, which is the lightest of the collection, a taupey beige with a hint of rose gold. And the last one is called Chilled Cherry, which is a taupey, cooler leaning Merlot rose that still maintains a bit of neutrality. And you might be thinking, like, that doesn't look very cherry. That didn't look very different. These are some swatches that I took outside in the sunshine that I'll show you of these colors. And I'm just going to rub my fingers on these. So we're going to have on my first finger Oxidative Olive. And then Pewtered Pine. Magnetic Maple. And Chilled Cherry. And when I show them to you this way, you really will be able to see that these are quite a beautiful set. No sparkle, but a wonderful luminescence and pearlized sort of a feel. I'll put these across my hand just so you can see what these look like under the lights. So they're very subtle, but that is the beauty of Phytosurgence. It is the ability to make a large statement with a small amount of makeup. They're user-friendly. Fingers are fine. Brushes are fine. Sometimes you use a combination. Usually to lay down the product, I will go in with the finger because these are incredibly wonderful to work with your fingers. But those of you who have long nails or whatever, you most definitely can go in with a brush. I'll just show you. You just take a brush. This is the Wayne Goss number 6. And I will just show you that you can go into these pans. And they really do give you a very easy time now of getting them out of, I'm going to put a little more of this on top here so you can see. what it does to that color on the bottom. They come out of the pans easier than they did. There's a little bit more of a, I guess, a softness of the formula, but they just are much easier to get out of these little pans, which is nice. But I know long nails are gorgeous, and I can't. Like, I just have to be able to like touch and do things. So I keep mine much shorter than I would have in the past. You can wear them alone, or you can wear them together. So I am going to be demoing these for you on my eyes. The first color, Chilled Cherry. And if I put that right on my eyelid, and start to pull it out, you'll start to see a really nice color starting here. I'm going to take another brush. This is a Sonia G T4, and I'm going to go into the Magnetic Maple color. Picked it up on the brush. I'm going to take this one, go right in the center. Just get a little, almost a halo effect with this eye. And then maybe I would take my Sonia G T3 and go into Pewtered Pine and say, okay, I think I'm going to use that in my crease. So you have a lot of options with these colors. They blend together beautifully, or a one and done, which I will show you on the other eye, is also something that you can do. But this one you can see, if you just go in with fingers, you get this really pretty, very soft look in a very cool tone, which is my bag. On this side, just to show you, I'm going to go in with the color called Oxidative Olive. It's in my middle finger here. And I'm going to show you what a one and done would look like. I can put this onto my lid. I can actually go up into the crease, and I can pull that out. And I can take any kind of blending brush. This one's from Wayne Goss. And I can blend that color. I can pull it and smoke it out. I can bring it forward. The one and done is alive and well. And these colors are so rich looking, so sophisticated. They are beautiful in the way that they are restrained. They are beautiful in the way that you edit yourself. But if you don't feel like editing yourself, go crazy. Maybe you want to add some more Magnetic Maple over here and really start to make that smoky looking eye. You have so many options when it comes to these shadows, and this cool toned Weathered Woods collection is just one that I reach for a lot. These are all new. Like I said, I just replaced all of my, slowly, it took me a couple months, but I replaced the products because it had been, enough time, which I can't believe that I've been wearing these for that long. But yeah, this is the Weathered Woods. So give me a second to take this off and we'll take a look at the next collection.